What is going on, everybody? We are back for another episode of the Double Switch podcast. Just a heads up, this is a bad one. This is going to be a rough podcast. It's tough for us to sit here and kind of pretend that we're not the least bit worried. Nothing this weekend with the Braves and how this past week kind of unfolded makes us feel good about how things currently are. But that doesn't mean that the sky's falling. We're still in a position spot here for a playoff berth. We're trending in the wrong direction. I don't know, Johnny. How are you feeling on this gloomy Monday here in Philadelphia?
Less encouraged, but I think I'm still at the same spot with the team right now. I kind of knew who they were going into this Braves series, and I knew we weren't better than the Atlanta Braves. I just was hoping we could get a game or two, maybe just get hot that series. But I knew they're a better team than us. Some of the games we showed some fight, but not a great effort in general.
Wasn't enough, and it's continuing a trend here that we've seen for the past couple months. They do their job. They beat up on the bad teams, the Nats, the Marlins, Reds. I think the Pirates we beat 2 series. We do that perfectly. No problems there. But ever since we went out west, played the Padres and the Dodgers, we haven't really beat anybody good in a long time. The Mets have just completely dominated us both at home and on the road. The Braves looked better, are better. It showed out this weekend. It's something that it's taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture. If we are a playoff team, we don't get the Marlins and the Nats in the playoffs. We're not going to be able to do that. We're going to go up against a presumably good team, a team that deserves to be there, a high-seeded playoff team. It just makes me think that we're kind of on a crash course here for a playoff berth and a quick exit. There were times throughout this past season, even recently, past home stretch, where we went 5-1, where I thought that this could be a team that could throw it together and make something of this this opportunity. I don't really feel that way anymore. It's definitely the pessimist in me coming out, but this looks like a team that is going to fold the moment that they come across a good team. We're not going to face the Braves probably anymore. I mean, we're playing ourselves out of that position, but we're probably going to get the Cardinals if we do get in, and they're pretty good too. They earned it. They played themselves out of a wild card spot, and they're going to win the Central. And I don't know. I don't feel good. I don't feel good about our chances in any playoff series right now.
I don't think anyone should feel super comfortable with any matchup at this point. Like we were talking like a month ago, what matchup we thought was most favorable for us. Now, none. We're lucky to get in, and we're gonna be lucky to win one game in a 3-game series.
It's too bad the Nats can't find their way into that top wild card seed. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, dude. Or Miami, the one year we beat
them. Yeah, so on top of all these problems, I know you and I feel it. I think they're starting to feel it a little bit. I think they know September collapses are a thing. And for the first time in September, it looked like they knew it. It looked like they were playing themselves into that that idea. They know that the September struggles are real for them. They have been for a while, and they kind of feel like it's probably like not even something natural. Their bodies are just, so used to these collapses over the past 4 years, 4 years now. It's something they've grown so familiar with that it feels like they should be losing. That sounds really weird for me to say. Nobody feels like they should be losing, but it's that time of the year where the Phillies are used to seeing a playoff spot disappear in front of their eyes. And I think they know that. And I think that's in the back of their heads, and they're certainly playing like it.
No, they are playing like a September collapse is a routine to them. It kind of just feels like they've just kind of been dragged back into the motions of losing. Just like it feels like zombie-ish almost. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a whole different energy on the field. And I've seen the same Same topic brought back up. Is Harper have something to do with this? It doesn't go away, and it might be more than the coincidence.
It's going to start rearing its ugly head here soon, especially if we come home and we lose 4 of 6 again. It's going to be a topic. And I feel bad for him because I don't think he's completely healthy. And he gets back. He tore up AAA in his rehab assignment. He even had a good couple games when he came back up. You can kind of feel like he was here to save us. He probably felt that way too. And fast forward a little bit, and something's not right. His timing's clearly off. He's clearly pressing. It's a combination of stuff, but it's not working for him right now. And I think the team watching him kind of not be able to pull through, you see your leader kind of wilt in the face of adversity, which is what we're facing right now. And it's got to be just, a rough clubhouse to, kind of be in right now. I'm sure the stress is high with everybody. And, it's tricky because I know Bryce wants to pull through here more than anybody. I just wish it was easier said than done.
I thought about it, and before I get into this, you know how I feel about Bryce Harper. He's the best thing that happened to this team, and you think maybe Bryce Harper is a very serious guy in the clubhouse?
It's a good question. One that hasn't been asked enough, probably. I remember when he got the water dumped on his head by Bryson Stott and said, "Yeah, we're both thinking that." Said he'll hear about that later. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, right. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the type of guy who's like, all right, shit's getting serious right now. Let's buckle down, put your game face on. It's just time for, competing and stuff. When the vibe in this clubhouse when he wasn't here was, the Rob Thompson vibe, laid back, the Kyle Schwarber vibe too, laid back, just free and easy down the road, and let the kids play type of thing. A lot of the kids were having fun out there. It was visible just watching it, the Matons and the Veerlings and the Brandon Marsh. It's an interesting question. Would you tend to lean that way now after watching this kind of September unfold?
Yes, but there's an explanation. I think Bryce Harper is just the ultimate competitor. And I think when it comes to winning, in his eyes, when he looks at a playoff push, he thinks that's when everyone should be giving 100%, giving it their all, but kind of forgets that a lot of baseball is when you're having fun, and that's kind of when things tend to go good, when you're having fun playing baseball. And I think he puts a little too much pressure on himself in general. I think he needs to kind of just play. I think he's thinking. He's thinking a lot up there. He had a terrible series. I know he took that ball off the knee, which seemed a little interesting. But I think Bryce Harper just needs to relax and just play baseball. I think he's pushing. He's pressing too hard.
Yeah, a lot of ugly swings from Bryce. It's something that we're not accustomed to. He's not that type of player. He seems to be chasing more. It's tough for someone to go. It's like it's an attitude. It's something that's not easily changed. It's kind of who he is. It's an interesting question, and I think one of these articles we should probably look into Bryce Harper's kind of Septembers. I think it'd be interesting because I know he made the playoffs with the Nats. He didn't go very far in the playoffs. There's probably a way to quantify this to actually provide some evidence, but you're right. It's something that's gonna become more and more popular of a talking point as the season unfolds here in the last couple of weeks. But let's get into the action a little bit. We haven't really even covered it.
Yep.
Marlins took 2 out of 3. Looked pretty good. Nothing crazy. I mean, they're the Marlins, and they just are just bad this year. There's nothing else to say. And then we go to Atlanta. Friday was an interesting game because I wasn't exactly upset after Friday. I mean, I was upset. Did you have a chance to watch the game?
That was the 7-2 or whatever.
Yeah, it was a Sir Anthony Meltdown game. But Max
Yeah,
Fried
I
on the
wasn't.
hill. Yeah, you weren't watching it?
No, I was watching that one. Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't too upset at Sir Anthony for that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when you throw your best reliever out there and he just gets beat, like there's only so much you can do about it. I mean, if we threw Nick Nelson out there or someone, um,
We
who's
did throw Nick Nelson in after, and it didn't go any better.
yeah, like if it's I don't want to give Sir Anthony a free pass, but we threw our best guy at the Braves and they beat him, and like there's only so much you can do about that, right?
Yeah, they called him on a bad day. Sir Anthony needs to have his best day to go against that lineup. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, it's something that
They're the Atlanta Braves, and they could win another World Series. You got to be on your A game when you're playing them.
yeah, that offense is capable of popping off like that, and Sir Anthony's done a lot for us this year. We'll just chalk that up to a blip, and if he does it again, we start talking about it. But I mean, they had their ace Max Fried on the hill. We had Ranger give us a great outing, but I mean, at the end of the day, we
Amazing.
put up two runs, and the Braves pulled through it at home with their ace on the hill. I mean, that's something that not super surprising.
No, I did like our ability to make Max Fried throw a lot of pitches, get base runners, but we left a lot out there early in that game. We could have had ourselves around 4 runs easily, just with some better fundamental baseball, and it clearly mattered because going into the 7th, 8th inning against the Atlanta Braves, you never really trust your bullpen. I don't really care who you are. They're the Atlanta Braves. They feast on bullpens. So you'd like to give your team a 3-run cushion in a game like that where Ranger outdueled Max Fried.
So we know that the Braves crush lefties. They have Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, Acuna, Contreras. Just go down the whole list. Ton of righties. How good do you feel about how Ranger performed on Friday? I mean, are your worries just squashed after seeing him just go out and kind of dominate in a high stakes game like that?
I wasn't really worried about Ranger. Ranger, he's clutch. Ranger's unfazed. I mean, he can't. He had a couple messy outings, the one in Arizona. Then I think it was the one after that wasn't the best, but he's still one of those guys that in an important division game, I'm gonna feel comfortable putting him on the mound because I know he's like driven and motivated to pitch well in those moments.
Absolutely. He looked awesome. Fast forward. Saturday was the game that really kind of did it for me where I actually felt frustrated. Um, I believe we had Nola on the hill. Is that the Nola game?
Yes.
We had
Uh-huh.
Nola against Jake Odorizzi. He's a veteran in the league, and he's the Braves' sixth starter, I guess you could say. And Nola, he kind of did what Nola tends to do. He put up the most Aaron Nola stat line ever of 7 innings, 4 runs. Tell me that's not the most Aaron Nola stat line.
Sort of.
Yeah, he put up 4 runs over 7 innings. Gave us some good innings. Kept us in the game. That's all you could ask for. But the offense could not get to Jake Odorizzi and his 92-mile-an-hour fastball. That is inexcusable. You know when the Braves throw out their best of the best in terms of pitching, as we saw on Sunday as well. We didn't even really get into their starting rotation. They have more arms on top of that. When they throw out the best of the best that they have and you lose, it's fine. But I mean, when they're throwing out Jake Odorizzi, you got to take that one, right?
Yeah. I mean that's the weak link. Got to kill the weak link. Didn't kill
And
the weak link at all.
it's even more annoying because they would absolutely crush our weak link. Right? Like if we throw
Yeah.
out back of the rotation, the Braves,
Gibby.
Gibby, Thor, any of them, they would just get crushed. But we didn't do it, and that's something where a good team would have. Good teams are supposed to do that. That's I mean, to overgeneralize it, that's the problem. You need to win that game. I can't put it any other way. That's inexcusable. And at that point, I mean, we lose that game, and we're going into Sunday with Spencer Strider on the hill. Um, It's full blown panic mode at that time. It's
You put your back against the wall, and you never want to put yourself in a situation where you're down 0-2 in a series and you're facing their best pitcher.
Yeah. So best pitcher.
Do you
That's what we
consider
got.
him their best pitcher?
Yeah, he's nasty.
Yeah.
He's filthy, and he's a rookie. So I mean, Max Fried's really good.
Strider's better.
Yeah, it's a stuff versus like pitchability type thing because I think Fried's probably the better pitcher, but Strider's stuff is nuts.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and he's only a rookie, so that's great. We're gonna see 6 years of him just hitting 100 into the seventh.
It's a fake smile.
Yeah,
Very fake. It's a frown.
He's filthy. I'd love to get my hands on, one of those 20, 21-year-olds that throws 100. Hey, maybe we have one, so I don't know. But, yeah, Spencer Strider.
I got a question for you real quick.
What you got?
It might be skipping a little ahead over this Braves series to this coming week, but how do you think attendance is going to look this week? Do you think we're going to start filling the stadium, or you think it's going to be a tough one?
This was not expected. I wasn't expecting to go this way, but it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible.
Do they deserve it? They've gotten they're still in a playoff push. They still have a wild card spot. They're still going to be in the playoffs if it ended today.
This is the most unconvincing playoff team I have ever seen in my life. I don't feel good at all about this. It was one thing in what was the start of that last run they had? It was 2007, I guess. That team was hunting down the stretch. That team was hunting a playoff spot. We are tripping our way into a playoff spot. And there's so many factors affecting that I don't really know how much you want to go into like attendance because there's a ton that goes into that. But this team has done nothing to make people want to come out there. The style of baseball they've played lately on top of the losing, which is like the big part of it, it's been super boring baseball. The offense is non-existent. It's just not. It's not favorable for a good turnout, and especially it's a fan base that doesn't trust them. Why should we? I get it's the last season or last series. We're gonna be there on Sunday, but obviously we're a little more. We're at the top of the spectrum in terms of loyalty to the team, but I don't think it's going to be good. What about you?
I agree with you. I think it's going to be embarrassingly low, and I think if that's the case, then we should probably be shamed on national media.
So, what comes first? The winning team breeds good attendance, or good attendance breeds winning? I mean, we're stuck in kind of like a chicken or the egg type situation here. And I don't know what this team could even do to regain our trust at this point.
Well, I mean, we're fans. We've stayed fans for 20 years. Some people 80 years, some people 60 years. We haven't been to the playoffs in 11 years. Go to the game. Go to the game this week. There's 2 weeks left. I know no one wants to spend money all summer, but it's a playoff push. Get to the stadium. Go to the game. They clearly need some extra energy. They're not bringing enough themselves.
That's what I'm saying, though. Everybody thinks everybody thinks this team's going to collapse, and no one wants to see it in person. I mean, no one wants to see it regardless. There's probably a large group of people who are just over it, You've seen just heartbreaking collapses over the past 2 years, and they just don't want to go through it again. And I do resonate with those people a little bit, but no, I do agree that some 30,000 fan attendance games this weekend would really do this team some good.
Yeah, that would probably be very comforting for players to see a packed house all week. This weekend against the Braves, after that tough one in Atlanta, they should show out and get behind, pick up the guys. They're having a tough time, and the Philly faithful has not done a great job to have their back. A lot of us fans have chosen to quit on them whenever convenient this season, whenever a losing streak starts. Whatever happened to the Philly faithful? It's just sad to see this team not selling any tickets, but it's the product you put on the field, I guess.
It's frustrating, but I'll be doing my part. I'll be there on first game of the Braves series, and you and I will be at the last. Yeah, we don't really have to get into Sunday too much. I mean, it's just a typical Phil's loss, but
yeah, it's nothing special.
There's some moves here that we do need to talk about. They made the gutsy decision to keep Bailey Falter in the rotation at the expense of Noah Syndergaard, and I'll just throw it to you right away because I know you're probably a huge fan of this. What does that decision say, and how do you feel about it?
The decision says that we're not going to put a bad pitcher in the rotation just because we made a trade for him. It says we're going to win, and we're going to use the best player with the freshest arm down the stretch, and that's Bailey Falter. And he's the hottest hand. He might not be making $20 million a year like Thor, and we might not have traded a Mickey Moniak for Bailey Falter, but they see it as it is. Bailey Falter is playing better baseball than Noah Syndergaard, and that's what matters. We need to win games. We don't need to pat Noah on the back. And he's only here for 1 year. It's not like we're shaping him for next year.
Question 2. Is Noah Syndergaard your least favorite Philly?
100%. I've never hated – I hate him so much.
He's
so much.
We didn't completely luck out because he's still on the team. He's still in the bullpen, and he's going to provide some valuable innings out of the bullpen. Is that what I'm hearing? He's going to follow Zach Wheeler on Wednesday and give us, some lockdown relieving, right?
What part of the stuff he throws signals to anyone that he's going to be effective in high leverage situations? Tell me that. He doesn't throw above 93 miles per hour or 94, whatever, whoop-de-doo. He's going to struggle in the bullpen. He's going to get eaten alive. They're going to pick him apart like vultures. Cut him.
I'm all for cutting him on Wednesday because we have to open up a roster spot for Zach Wheeler, and they're going to have to get rid of a pitcher. And it's probably going to be Coonrod or who else do you think it might be? Coonrod, right? Or Nelson?
Neither of those deserve it.
No.
Because Coonrod's got a fresher arm than most.
Yeah, but Nelson's been doing it for a minute now, and he's pretty valuable out of the long relief role. I mean, much more valuable than Thor will be. But it's going to be one of them. And I wish, in a perfect world, that it was probably Noah Syndergaard because I think he's the worst pitcher on this team right now.
Yeah, and they're just not going to – yes, they'll move him out of the rotation, but they're not going to swallow their pride and say it was a horrible trade. They're not going to cut him. They just – I think that's too far for the Phillies. But, on a positive note about Noah Syndergaard, because it's at least he took down that stupid half ponytail the other night because that half pony that he has, like on the side of his head, is the goofiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, sorry, I had to get that one out.
All right. Let's wrap up on Noah Syndergaard. And for the record, I have no bad opinion about Noah Syndergaard. I just think he's an awful pitcher. And hopefully,
I have bad opinions.
Okay, Johnny's different, but hopefully this will be the last time we ever see him start a game. Other than that, nothing crazy. I mean, I haven't seen Nick Castellanos in a minute. I don't even know what's going on with him. Do you know what's going on with him?
No,
no updates, right?
There's one today, and I started reading it and just stopped because I needed a little Phillies detox this morning.
Okay, well, I guess he's a big bat when he comes back. We don't know when that's going to be, so we'll see. But other than that, Zach Wheeler Wednesday. Sounds like we're not going to get too much length out of him, but it sounds like his velocity's back, right? So that's a positive sign.
Yeah. So we shall see how that plays out. And then, so we got Toronto 2 games. What's that?
Gotta win those.
What's that? Wednesday, Thursday?
Tuesday,
Wednesday.
Stripling and Gosman.
It's doable.
It's doable.
Gosman's been rough lately.
He's pretty good. He could throw up a 7 innings of shutout. So we might have our hands full with that. But I think those are 2 games we have to win.
No, they're kind of it's must-win territory with those guys, especially coming off a sweep. You have to win the first game of the new series.
That's another thing. I mean, we just took every ounce of cushion that we had and just kicked it away, and now we have to just deal with this high-stress baseball for 3 weeks. I mean, it's so annoying. You know, I mean, we could have just gone 500 and just coasted to the playoffs. But we lose 4 in a row, let everybody back into it, and now we have to grind it out. And, you know, the team's not good at grinding it out. We haven't been good at grinding it out for 4 years. So we have to deal with that. That's rough. After that,
you know what isn't rough?
What's that?
Phillies Trivia with the double switch.
Let's do it.
All right. Today, we'll be having Josh asking me his questions. We figured out a format for this. So how we're going to do it is, so the first time we did it, it would have been the top of the first inning. We get 3 questions. And then, so I had 2, or Josh had 2 because he went first. And then when I went in the bottom of the inning, the next episode, I got my 3 questions and I got 1. So we're going to say Josh won the first inning. And then last week was the second inning. And on the top of the second, Josh got 1. And now I am up in the bottom of the second to see if I can win the inning.
So basically it's 1-0 me, and Johnny is going for the tie right now.
Exactly.
All right, Johnny. First question. Kyle Schwarber is 1 home run away from 40 home runs. If he hit the 40 home run mark, he would be the first player since who to do it in what year? So this is a who and what year question. Because I know, you know, you could easily get one, but the other's tricky.
All right. Repeat the question one more time. Just because it was a two-parter.
Yes. Kyle Schwarber will be the first person to hit 40 home runs since what player in what year? What was the most recent player to do it, and what year did he do it? I should have worded it that way.
Would it be Ryan Howard in 2010?
Oh.
Was I a year off?
2009.
Damn it. 2-part questions. This is a rip-off.
I had to get even with you for your Phillies 1700s question last week.
Yeah, that was pretty cruel.
Yeah, Ryan Howard did it in 2009. 2010, he had 31 home runs, which I feel like is super underwhelming. But
yeah, it's weak.
2011, he had 33 and then didn't have over 30. But
should have guessed 2009. Whatever.
Ryan Howard. It's not a guarantee Schwartz is going to get there, but we think he will.
I think so.
Johnny goes 0 for 1.
It's fine. All I need to do is get 2.
Okay. Question number 2. Who is the last Phillies pitcher to pitch in the playoffs? Let me know if you need an explanation of that.
Wait. Yeah. All right. Starter, reliever?
Well, you're going to kind of have to think about that. The last time the Phillies made the playoffs, who was the last pitcher to pitch in that game?
That is a brutal question.
You think? I don't think it's that hard. I thought this one was pretty easy.
Could you just tell me if it's a reliever or a starter? That's so open-ended.
Well, do you remember the game?
Not off the top of my dome right now. No.
Oh, no. You should know the game.
Oh! Was that the last time?
Yeah, that's hard to believe, right?
Wait, Roy Halladay?
Oh, no, you got it wrong.
Vance Worley.
No. You're on the right track, but you still got it wrong. It was a reliever, but you have the right game. I thought this was easy. I thought you might have got this.
The bullpen, I just couldn't think of who he had.
Ryan Matson.
Oh, I love Ryan Matson.
I feel like you should have got that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Ryan Matson's my boy. He's probably
you're a big Ryan Matson guy.
All right, Ryan, if you're listening, which I know you probably are, dude. No hate. Just forgot.
Yeah, that was the Roy Halladay game. And I guess you probably thought Halladay went the whole game. He only went 8 innings. Matson pitched top of the ninth, and that was it. Feels like a long time ago because it was.
It was a very long time ago. Jesus.
All right, so we got a little different of a question here.
All right, I got to salvage this one to tie up the inning.
Yes, I think you can get this one. Maybe. Aaron Nola is currently 5th in the NL in strikeouts, which means there are 4 players ahead of him. You need to guess all 4, and I will give you 3 strikes.
What do you mean 3 strikes? Oh, like
3 incorrect guesses.
So how many people are in front of him?
4. So you got to go like 4 for 7. That's very doable. And they're all pretty. You should get them.
Yeah, you probably should. Here, you said 4 people in front of him.
4 people are in front of him. He has 210 strikeouts.
All right, Corbin Burns.
He's number 3 with 219.
Okay, Dylan Cease.
He's number 4 with 214.
So I got 3 and 4 out of the way.
3 and 4.
I feel like this could be a strike, but I'm still going to guess it. Garrett Cole.
He's number 1 with 236. Really? 236.
He's kind of had a below average year though.
Yeah.
And then two.
2's a little tricky. 2's a little tricky.
I'm gonna guess this, but I know I could very well be wrong. Justin Verlander.
Justin Verlander is 22nd.
I knew he was having a good year. I didn't know if he was striking people out.
You're a big fan of this guy.
You really gonna do me like that? And I'm gonna be like, oh, who am I a fan of?
Nah, you love this guy.
I got 2 more strikes, right?
2 more strikes. You went 3 for 3 to start.
I know, and I knew
you're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna go over 3 on the day.
Shut up, dude! I'm totally gonna get it.
And you gave me your 1700s question. I still won the week.
Oh wait, Sandy.
Sandy is number 9.
No, I got one more guess.
Oh no, this is not good.
Oh, I know it.
Who is it?
Carlos Rodon.
He's number 2 with 220 strikeouts. Oh man, yeah, I picked that question just for you because I knew you like Carlos Rodon, and that was going to be the tricky one.
Oh, that was tricky.
Wait, so we tied?
I think we should do a bonus question to see who wins it.
You want me to come up with one?
Yeah, we both have to.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Or should we just call it a tie? We can go into extra at the end of the week. Or at the end of that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So 1-1, right? No. Yeah, 1-1 for the week. So it's 1-0-1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That would be a tie inning.
It's a tie because Johnny knew the strikeout people, but pretty good trivia time there. That was a good one. I think we're kind of getting it down. Yeah,
no, I think this has potential. I think you guys are gonna like this one as we start getting some good questions.
Yeah, keep your 14th century Phillies questions out of it. No one knows those.
Well, except for my grandfather. And
did he know? Yeah. Did he? Does he know that?
Probably, I don't know.
Big Phillies trivia guy.
Phillies historian, I would call him.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get him on for a guest
That would be cool.
guest rendition of Phillies trivia. We should do that to guests too.
Yeah, I like that. What if we bring Dan on? Do we got to do Mets trivia? Or we could do Mets Phillies trivia.
That's a good one. And just talk about like the big moments and the. Okay, sounds good. I guess we should probably not strategize on podcasts. We should do that.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
It's cool. Anyway, you got anything else?
No, I'm gonna go watch the Eagles. Go Birds. This isn't Vikings. This is James Madison.
6 games this week. What do you predict happens? Their record?
2 against Toronto, and then 4 against Atlanta.
Yep.
3-3.
Would you be happy with that?
No, I think we need to go 4-2. What about you?
See. I agree literally with both. We need to at least get over 500 with this week. I mean,
we got to come out positive, guys.
Yeah, especially with the way weeks have just been awful or awesome. Can we just get like a good week? It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be like the 6-0 weeks we put up. Just, win more than you lose this week and we'll be happy. We'll cross that bridge next week. But anything else?
Go Fightins.
Go Fightins. If you're listening to us on Spotify, go check us out on YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, go check us out on Spotify. Give us that 5-star rating if you like the pod, and suggestions. Always interested in what you guys like to hear. And with that being said,
doubleswitchpodcast.com as well. We're posting articles. We're trying to do at least 1 or 2 a week, but we're brewing them out, and we're having a lot of fun doing it, and we hope you guys are enjoying them too.
What Johnny said. Thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week.